Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to your second Scots language lesson with Mrs. Smith. This is just going to be picking up from where we left off last week. So if we look at the weekly plan, then by now you should all have completed the 3 new things you had learned from watching the Scots language video and also had a little go at the word search and added both of those to your OneNote. So if you haven't already managed that, can you make sure that you get that done as quickly as you possibly can so that I can jump on and have a wee look and give you some feedback? So this is week 2, so what we're going to be looking at is a little bit of comic book structure today. Then we're going to be going on to thinking a little bit about speech and dialogue. We'll be planning out our stories in week 4 and then checking over your work and submitting your final comics in week 5. So just as a little quick recap of what we've already done, last week you watched the short video clip to learn some of the background information about Scots, how it had been used in history and how it was being used today. Alright, we also widened our vocabulary a little bit by adding some new Scots words to it, and that's something that we're going to do a little bit of every week just so that you can build up that vocabulary and be able to use those new words in your comic strips in a few weeks' time if you want to. So moving on to our starter task, most of us did a fantastic job with that last week, so that's great. I know it's a structure that you're comfortable with already. So here's the same Scots Dictionary website that you used last week, and just a link to the app for you again there if you need to get a hold of that. We've got 3 new words for this week, so they are blethers, lassie and midden. So if you don't know what any of those words mean, give them a wee look up in the Scots Dictionary first of all. And then just the same as last week, you're going to be making a sentence using those words and posting it on the Distance Learning channel as you've been doing already. So pause the video, have a wee go at that just now. Okay, and then moving on to the main lesson for today, we're thinking a little bit about what is a comic book. Most of you will probably already know or already have seen comic books before, but just in case. So they're a form of literature that use pictures and images alongside captions and words to tell us a story. They're usually pretty creative, and the authors, the people that create these comic books, use their imaginations to really explore a huge range of different topics, alright, and different styles of artwork usually as well. So this isn't something that's new. People have been using images to tell stories to each other for a really long time, almost as long as we've existed on Earth, right? So they've come a long way from what they used to look like compared to what they look like today. So really early comics, I suppose, might have looked something a little bit like this. So we've got cave paintings, really old picture books, picture stories, and those are Egyptian hieroglyphs as well. Not the Facebook like symbol, obviously, that's a new one, but the rest are pretty old. But modern comics these days look a wee bit different, so you might recognise some of these. This is the sort of really modern stuff that we've got, so you can see just how far the artwork's come along, and we've got different kinds of stories there as well. So modern comics, although they're on a huge range of different subjects, they all have the same basic elements that you need to have in them to make them work. And those are things like panels, we've got gutters, captions, and speech bubbles or speech balloons, however you want to go with that. So the first thing that I'd like you to do for today's lesson is I want you to see if you can match up the element to the correct description. So we've got 4 different elements there and we've got 4 descriptions, and I want you to see if you can match them up correctly. Now you can type that out fully onto your OneNote if you like, but you don't have to. It's absolutely fine if you just want to put 1, 2, 3 and 4 and then the correct letter next to it, but make sure you do it in the Scots Language tab of your OneNote. So just pause the video, have a wee go at that one just now. Okay, and then moving on to the last task, if you've managed the match-up task no problem at all, then you might think about pushing yourself a little bit today and doing something extra. Alright, so I would really encourage you to have a go at this task as well. So what I'd like you to do is either take a picture or find a screenshot of a comic book, maybe one that you've read before or just one that you find by searching online, and I want you to have a go at annotating it. So I want you to go back, have a wee look at your elements that we've just talked about, your gutter and panel, your caption and your speech bubble, and I want you to see if you can annotate your comic book page and write on and draw little arrows and label it all correctly with these different elements that we've just learned about. Okay, you can add your annotated picture as well to your Scots Language with Mrs. Smith page on your OneNote so that I can have a wee look and get back to you with some feedback. Alright, and that's us, short and sweet. So remember, as we said last week, if you need any help with this at all, then you can jump on during the Thursday tutorial time and you can ask any questions about this. But please make sure that you're completing this work within the week. So just the same as you have had with your normal English lessons, you're getting a week to do these tasks. So they're set on the Friday and I expect them to be done in time for the next Friday's lesson. But any questions at all, jump on the tutorial and you can ask anything there. But good luck with it, hope you enjoy, and we'll see you next time.